Two skiers enjoy the winter sun, 1955. A young Michael Jackson wearing a Wehrmacht uniform as part of a sketch on the Sonny and Cher show, 1976. In the late 1800s, a squad of samurai stood as a symbol of a fading era, captured during a time of immense change in Japan. Sergeant Spano and his war dog Lobo completing a parachute jump in Da Nang, Vietnam, August 1968. School children demonstrate against conscription. Liverpool, 1980s. Photograph of a small dog and a child crying in the rubble of their former home after the German bombing of London, World War II. First day of school, Portugal, 1936. This image is called Smithfield, London, taken by Sarah Ainsley in 1998 in Smithfield Market. Life on the Sands and the Pier, Norderney, Germany, 1890s. Pro wrestlers Rey Mysterio and Tori Wilson backstage at an event in 1999. Opera singer Aline Valandry, known for her remarkably long hair, 1900s. Hokkaido, Ainu clan leader, 1930. The Ainu were the indigenous people of Hokkaido and are essentially fully assimilated into Japanese culture with only a handful of Ainu speakers left. Donna Reed, 1940s. An old woman leaving her home with just a portrait of her husband and rugs. Russian soldiers gave her just 5 minutes to pack her bags and leave before they destroyed her home and everything in it. May 1995, Grozny. Village shamans, Korea, 1910s. I.V. Romanov's electric car at the Gatchina Palace, 1900. It turns out that in 1899, engineer Ippolit Romanov built and demonstrated the first Russian electric car designed to carry 2 passengers in St. Petersburg. A welder processes pipes for merchant ships, California, 1942. Palestinian Christian photographed during protests against Israeli occupation at Bethlehem, 1988. Picture taken by photojournalist Javier Baulus. American B-17 bombers in flight against the evening sky. Chimpanzee posing in a top hat and tails, circa 1925. A surfer at Waikiki Beach stands on his head as he rides a wave into the shore, 1925. Pam Grier, 1970s. Natalie Wood skating in the 1970s. Layla Khaled surrounded by children. She became one of the Arab world's first known female terrorists. Jewish tomes hidden in the attic of Riga's last synagogue, Latvia, 1991. Poor mother stands with her 2 children in Oklahoma, 1936. Demonstrators gathered at University Square in Bucharest, Romania, near a protest sign symbolizing the choice between communism and democracy, months after the fall of the Ceausescu regime, 1990. Salma Hayek at the premiere of the movie 54, 1998. The Cyprus Freeway, damaged by the Loma Prieta earthquake of 1989. The earthquake caused nearly $6 billion in damages, killed 63 people, and wounded more than 3,750. Sneaking a kiss through Berlin Wall, circa 1989. Pink Floyd's iconic floating concert in Venice that forced the city council to resign in 1989. Port Chicago bombing, 1944. Brooke Shields' high school yearbook photo, senior year, 1983. Vatican necropolis from 1950. The first modern excavations under St. Peter's Basilica began in the 1940s, under Pope Pius XII, with the goal of locating St. Peter's tomb. Several ancient mausoleums were discovered, the earliest dating to 100 AD. 2 women carry a heavy wooden beam across a steep alpine slope during the construction of Hans Lehner's chalet, Lauchernalp, Switzerland, 1936. Materials often had to be transported by hand where machinery couldn't reach. Brad Pitt hides his face from the paparazzi, 1995. The Polish flag flies over Reichstag on 2nd May 1945. In 1908, German apothecary Julius Neubronner trained pigeons to fly with cameras. Soviet Cossack sappers blow up an enemy pillbox. Crimean Front, 1942. A Red Cross nurse writing down the last words of a soldier, circa 1917. The dam of the Bratsk hydroelectric power station, 1968. A muss at headquarters, Union soldiers act out a choreographed brawl near Falmouth Bay, 1863. Photo by James F. Gibson. A column of Soviet IS-2 heavy tanks on the streets of Berlin. World War II. Belgian police in a gypsy camp, 1928. Obsolete ships at the Philly Navy Yard, 28 October 1940, John F. Kennedy Stadium in the background. In 1922, 16-year-old Canadian Aloha Vandervelde became the first woman to circumnavigate the globe. While traveling through the United States, 18-year-old Aloha and 29-year-old Walter married. Former enslaved people freed by Union forces during United States Civil War, 1862. Leonardo DiCaprio, 20 years old. USA, 1994. Bill Wyman was 47 when he started dating 14-year-old Mandy Smith. They got married when she was 18. Technicians observed the loading of lunar roving vehicle LRV-2 into a quadrant of the descent stage of the Apollo 16 lunar module at Kennedy Space Center on November 12, 1971. American World War I Drum and Bugle Corps veterans at a reunion in 1978, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Photo by James L. Amos. Three women from Guadeloupe standing at the ferry dock outside the main entrance of Ellis Island on April 6, 1911, before passing through on their way to Canada, 1911. Young Queen Elizabeth at 25. September 1973. Political prisoners are taken into the basement of the National Stadium for interrogation after a United States-backed military coup overthrew the socialist president of Chile. Suffragettes march in Washington for women's rights, March 3, 1913. Actress Margaret Vale Howe participates in the parade. Woman buys stockings from a vending machine for $1, 1950s. A nervous young girl sits in the front row. She is the only black girl in her newly integrated class. Tennessee, 1957. Half and Half, Zarita photographed by Murray Corman, circa 1940. Zarita, 30 August 1915, Youngstown, Ohio, 12th of November 2001, Stuart, Florida, American burlesque dancer. Dorothy, dress designer, 1950s. Tracks of the Berlin Elevated Railroad stop at the border of American sector of Berlin in this air view on August 26, 1961. Beyond the fence, communist-ruled East Berlin side, the tracks have been removed. Mother of the Berberov family with lion, Soviet Baku, modern-day Azerbaijan, 1970s. Three criminals are imprisoned in special devices as punishment. China in the 19th century. The mascots of the Flying Fortress airplane Hokie Chile, stationed in North Carolina, Scrappy the dog and Joe the monkey, take some exercise on the runway. 1943. German soldiers take Jews from the ghetto for forced labor. Warsaw Ghetto, World War II. The use of flamethrower during World War I. Dazibao, handwritten wall newspapers with large characters, became a symbol of the Cultural Revolution in Beijing, hanging on street walls to spread propaganda and express revolutionary views. Embroidered maxi coat trimmed with ostrich feathers, photo by Franco Rubartelli, 1969. Port Liggett, October 11, 1959. Jasmine portrait. Dali has fixed two dandelion flower corollas at the tip of his mustache. Celebrating the victory over Germany. Moscow, May 9, 1945. Scratch marks inside Auschwitz gas chamber. Brahmins, India, 19th century. French tennis champion Suzanne Lenglen high-kicking during a doubles match at the Wimbledon Lawn Tennis Championships in 1924. February 1937. A tiny Wright-Craft van, Britain's smallest, traveling along Deansgate in Manchester. In 1983, David Hammons carried out an unannounced street performance in the East Village, where he sold snowballs of varying sizes. Multiprocessor computing system PS2000 at the Institute of Cybernetics, Moscow, 1984. Matthew McConaughey's Delta Tau, Delta fraternity composite photo from the University of Texas at Austin, circa 1989. A German soldier fires a machine gun at night on the Eastern Front, 1943. Here's a Tlingit girl. Besides the distinctive nose ring and bright makeup, you can see a crown of bear claws on her head. From a Sami wedding in Norway, 1900. Jean-Claude Van Damme tries on the first version of the Predator costume. The actor was fired before filming began, 1987. 1980s, Soviet informals. Elvis adjusting the robe he gave to Muhammad Ali before Ali's fight against Joe Bugner that night. February 14, 1973. Class of women student physiotherapists in the 1950s training the Mensendiek system. Samiman on reindeer sledge in Lapland, Sweden. Ozzy Osbourne, 1970s. A disabled woman types on a typewriter using a device attached to her head at an exhibition of assistive devices for people with disabilities. Goldsmiths Hall, London, United Kingdom, 1951. Whitechapel, London in 1973 by David Hoffman. Two German police officers try out the first mobile police radio receivers in 1924 to forward radio messages from the headquarters to patrol officers faster. A late 19th century gay couple. Flooding from the Illinois River along the Peoria riverfront in March 1982. The 1977 Liebes train collision. A negligent signalman misdirects an express train into the wrong branch line, sending it on collision course with a freight train. Portrait of Joan Collins in 1955. Suffragettes lead the parade down Pennsylvania Avenue, March 3, 1913. Circa mid-1930s, Jewish Berber woman, Morocco. Citroën DS19 at the Milan Motor Show, 1957. French nurses lead emaciated prisoners of the Weichingen concentration camp to their vehicles. 1945. The Butcher, Hamilton, NJ, 1890. Hurricane Camille had the highest speeds of any hurricane to hit the United States when it made landfall in 1969. Fresh water was scarce after the hurricane, with people drinking out of broken pipes. Bobby Fischer on the New York City subway. 1962. Rotterdam, the Netherlands, 1937. Dutch gentleman enjoying some raw herring, typical street food. Carrie Fisher with her mom, grandmother, and great-grandmother, 1974. Rockabilly roller girl posing, 20th century. Ecstatic fans give in to the music at the Isle of Wight Festival, 1969. This is one of the masks worn by Edward the Beast of Jersey Paynell during his reign of terror between 1957 and 1971. Confused chubby baby poses inside a car, 1925. Glass negative. May 24, 1991. The world record for the most passengers on a commercial airplane is achieved when 1,122 refugees are lifted from Ethiopia on an El Al Boeing 747. 1972 Rally Chopper advertisement. Bison Bones, Detroit Carbon Works, 1873. Known for producing animal charcoal from bones, which was used in various products like glue and fertilizer. Typing class at Duplin County Schools, Raleigh, North Carolina, 1950s. Neil Armstrong making pizza for his family in 1969. Burt Circus arrives at Platform 9, Spencer St, Melbourne, Australia. A circus elephant helps unload trains, 1948. Legendary pitcher Nolan Ryan is ready for an absurd amount of pancakes in 1972. Coco Chanel boar hunting with Winston Churchill and his son Randolph near Dieppe in 1928. A rebel tosses police records onto a burning car after insurgents took over and burned a police station in Tehran on February 11, 1979, the same day the Shah's regime collapsed. 1955. The locomotive of Express Train 172 from New York City to Boston jumped the tracks, derailing 15 cars and plunging itself and 7 cars down a steep embankment to the railroad yard below. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, 1947 and 2007. An enslaved person and the woman who held her in bondage, New Orleans, 1850s. Che Guevara sharing a laugh and cigars with Egyptian peasants during his visit to Egypt, 1959. (1989) Student protests in Tiananmen Square. Protesters tense. Buckminster Fuller with the Dymaction car from 1930 and the Fly's Eye Dome from 1965. Opened in 1923, the Fiat factory in Turin was designed with a kilometer-long racing track on its roof, used for both testing completed cars and racing. Sophia Loren, 1962. Female snipers of the 3rd Shock Army, 1st Belarusian Front, May 1945. Jane Mansfield, 1950s. Ash clouds from Mount St. Helens move over Ephrata Airport in Washington on Monday, May 19, 1980. Communities across central and eastern Washington were covered in 3 to 5 inches of gritty, fine ash particles. The aftermath of the explosion of a train car containing explosives at the Sverdlovsk-Sortirovochny railway station, 1988. Members of the Gay Liberation Front marched through New York City in the late 60s, culminating in the Stonewall riots. Carol Morris, also known as Miss Iowa, 1954, Miss USA 1956, and Miss Universe 1956.